Everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started for time here. Thanks for joining us for Safetica's product roadmap update. We look forward to sharing our latest released innovations with you and reviewing a number of capabilities that will be coming soon that you can expect in the next few months and into 2026. My name's Vic Clary, and I'm your host for today's webinar, and I manage product marketing for Safetica. And with me today is Peter Kasparek, our Vice President of Product, and Jan Lakatos, our Director of Product Management. And Peter and Jan will share some great information with you today, and we'll answer questions for you at the end as well. So before we get started, I have some basic housekeeping items here. You've all been muted on entry. If you have a question, please use the GoToWebinar's questions tab and enter your questions there, not the chat tab, the questions tab, and we'll do our best to answer them at the end of the webinar, or if not, we'll respond after the event by email. But for the sake of time and to get through all the slides, we'll review all the questions at the end during the Q&A. And then after the webinar, we'll email you a link to the recording as well as a copy of the slides so that you can review them on your own or share them internally with your team members. All right, so just to give you a quick agenda of what we're going to talk about, I'll give you a brief Safetica intro, and then I'll hand the floor over to Jan, who will review the latest capabilities and features that we recently released. And then Peter will get into what features and functionalities are coming next, and then wrap up also with a peek into what's on the horizon for 2026 and beyond. And then we'll save some time at the end for questions. All right, so just for a quick overview of Safetica, for those of you who are new to us, we're a global leader in intelligent data security where we've unified DLP, insider risk management, and discovery and compliance into a single solution that's powered by AI, and it's operational across both on-prem and cloud environments. And it's designed to help protect your most sensitive data, as well as reduce both accidental and malicious insider risk and ensure compliance is met too. So we pride ourselves in the fact that our solution is smooth and simple to integrate, and we have customers of all sizes in 120 countries. So to give you, just a look at what we're going to focus on today, Jan will go into what's new, including our enhanced reporting capabilities, stronger insider risk management functionality and automation and smart product updates. And then for a look at what's next, Peter will discuss our plans and progress in building a next-gen data security platform, looking at the enhancements coming for our enterprise solution and intelligent data security and cloud data governance. And then we'll wrap up with more details on the future vision for our product for 2026 and beyond. All right, I'm going to pass the presentation over to Jan to start with our latest enhancements. Janko.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Nice to see you again. And today I will again take you through the news in our product to show you all the latest features that you can look forward to or that you can already explore in the product in case you are running the latest versions. So let's get to it. Today it will be very visual, and I hope to get you some good news and things you are expecting and hoping to hear today. So for the initial big thing that you will notice immediately when you try the product or you update to the latest version, we now have a new security dashboard. We knew it was missing for a long time, and we tried to create it in such a way that it helps you get a great overview over the entire product. So when you visit the product, the new homepage of it is the new dashboard. And it includes several sections that tie back to the entire product. You have the insights overview here that give you a glimpse of how you are doing regarding the security insights that the product is addressing. And very quickly from the dashboard, you can quickly access whatever you would like to action. Going forward, we also have the data section that gives you an overview over data operations in your company and how files are actually being used, what kind of data classifications are being handled. And again, if you notice something out of the usual or something worth exploring, you can just quickly click and browse through the actual logs. We also have a new behavior analysis section. We will talk more about it, but you can see it also part of the dashboard. And again, the same way as before, very quick to access. And the dashboard allows you a gate that takes you to the relevant section to explore whatever you would like to explore here. And finally, the latest new addition to the product is the AI exposure part, which is now brand new in the dashboard, but it still ties back to the product, and it gives you contextual information about the AI tools being used and about the file transfers that are being done to AI tools. And then, of course, the same way you would like previously, you can either block or control these things. And again, if you notice the dashboard, we are still in version 1 that we would like to make public, but there is a very quick feedback window at the very bottom of the page, and we will be very happy to hear your thoughts. You can definitely expect this dashboard to be the initial version of the dashboard. We have big plans for it. We are very excited to already have it in the product, but if you have thoughts about it, you see missing use cases, or you would like to send praise, we will definitely appreciate it. Filling in the form sends the info automatically to the product team, and we definitely take a look at it every day. And in case we have follow-up questions, we are happy to talk to our customers directly. So this is the new cool thing that you will notice immediately. That's the security dashboard topic. But overall, we try to focus on the topic of reporting, and you can expect additional new things related to reporting. The next thing that will definitely be useful to all our security audit report users is that we've incorporated insights not only in the product. Insights are now available to all our cloud and on-premises customers, but they also became a part of our security audit report, and they gave you a very nice security posture overview immediately at the beginning of the security audit report. So the report has been very popular because it's always highlighted the security posture of the entire organization, and now enriched with insights, it gives you very actionable things that you would need to address to really increase your security. And also a part of this section is an AI generated summary that kind of summarizes all the things that has happened in the organization recently, and that might be something worth exploring. So again, insights along with a nice worded summary of what is going on is now part of all your security audit reports that you have been using previously, or that you will set up now fresh in the new version of the product. And continuing with reporting, and also continuing with common pain points related to the security audit report, customers had complained that they would like more flexibility for generating reports. For instance, I don't want to create a monthly report, but I want to create a specific report for a specific time frame. Now I can finally say that this is available in the product. And just to quickly see how this works in practice, when you visit any report, be it security audit or any other type of report, now when you click the Generate Report Now button, you are given the option to generate the report for a specific time frame. And then after confirmation, the report will be generated and sent to your inbox as you would expect before. Let's take a look again. I open any reporting setting. I click the Generate Report Now button. Then I can choose freely what the specific time frame I'm looking for is. In this case, August 15 to August 31st. And after hitting the button, after the report is generated, I will receive it in my email, generated for the specific time frame I defined. Hopefully this helps all those of you that I or my colleagues spoke to, and we hope that this will be a great change appreciated by anybody. And we're definitely not done with reporting. There are additional things that we are focusing on still. So even these days, we are working on new summary reports that will be generated in PDF or docx in case you want to edit them. and they will allow you to create a more high-level understanding of the company, because unlike our reports so far, they will also include visual charts. They will also include just a couple of raw logs that will give you an idea of what's happening, but they will be a much more lightweight reading for all those non-technical users. And again, this is something that you will be able to configure. So if you still prefer to receive spreadsheets, that will be an option, but along that, you will be able to create PDF or Word document reports that you can share with your colleagues. Also, we've heard feedback about grouped records not being reported ideally. So that's another topic we are addressing, and you can look forward to be resolved. And also, in case you are wondering whether all those reports that are only accessible with Safetica authentication will remain so, the answer is no. We are also working on making reports available to any user, even those that don't have access to Safetica. You don't want to create a new user account just for people to download reports. There will be an optional setting to configure that reports can also be downloaded without any authentication. So these things are still work in progress. I would like to say that they are available, but we are still working on these. The summary reports are very close to finalization, so our cloud customers can look forward to trying them in the next couple of weeks, and our on-premises customers, depending on when they update, they will definitely get the options also throughout the autumn season that has just started. Moving on from reporting, we've also strengthened one of our pillars of our product, and that's insider risk management. In case you've used our historical Safetica 1 solution, it had much better behavior analytic features and capabilities than Safetica so far. But now we believe it is very much on par with what was available previously. And we have a new behavior analysis view that allows much better insider risk management and overall user activity overview. Let's take a look at how this looks like. So again, if you visit the products, you will land on the new dashboard, but from that you can navigate to the new behavior analysis section that gives you a very brief overview of your entire company. And you can easily filter all that non-business or suspicious activity that's been going on. You can see the users listed that actually participated in risky or non-business activity. You can check out the detail of the user. You can even go deeper and filter further. And very quickly from these contextual windows, you can access the specific detail and explore what actually were those things that, in this case, Rebecca was performing. So again, I filter for suspicious. I filter for all those website visits that were considered suspicious, and I can explore more. And again, if there is something you would like to customize, you can use all those tools that are available in the product and have been so far. So again, if you consider Dropbox something that's not file sharing, but business, you can recategorize it. And naturally, all these application and web categories are reflected in the behavior analysis view. So if I go back and I'd refresh all my views, the numbers would be changed in this case. So here we can see Dropbox was recategorized, and if I filter again, the website visits considered non-business have decreased. But another level of customization is actually handling how certain categories are considered. So we have this new view of categories, behavior categories, where you can choose all the web and application categories and set them as either suspicious, non-business, or business. So in this case, maybe I would consider financial to be a business category because I'm a financial institution. File sharing might be suspicious in my organization. Alternative web browser are also suspicious. And maybe when my employees are accessing VPN clients, that's something out of the usual. I would like to also change that from business to suspicious. I can quickly do it here, very quick to do. And all the changes are automatically reflected the next time you visit the behavior analysis section. Everything is updated and your new recategorization is now in place, and you can go ahead and explore your new setup and how it affected the way that behavior is evaluated. So again, we think this is a very great return to form to what we previously had in Safetica 1. and it gives you possibilities of further filtering, sorting, creating new layouts. But we've already prepared a couple of basic use cases as predefined layouts that you can choose from very easily. And there are also very comfortable columns that are predefined for you, such as gaming, job search, social media, so that you can really tailor the view you would like to have. You can even create reports out of this. You can create layouts that you come back to regularly. And again, coupled with the recategorization solutions that you could see on the video, this gives you a powerful tool to explore how users are behaving and how that behavior translates into insider risk. So hopefully great news to all our customers. And we are definitely going to invest further into this part of the product, but we were very happy to release this version of behavior analysis because we find it very much comparable to what we previously had. But in case you have additional questions or feedback, we are very happy to hear it and address it because we still have plans to continue with this part of our effort. And moving forward, we've also invested a lot into smarter product and more automation throughout the entire product experience. One more thing that will be introduced this week or maybe next week for our cloud customers is our new dashboard recommendations. So you could see the new dashboard, but we are going further and we are also introducing this new recommendation tile that actually gives you maintenance recommendation throughout the product. And it kind of guides you to know where to focus regarding the Safetica product maintenance. Again, this is not necessarily the same thing as insights because we consider insights to be a security topic and a security configuration. But in case you would like to also keep your devices up to date and you would like to create further policies because you haven't created, for instance, external device policies, there are these quick tips already laid out for you on the dashboard to guide you through the things that you might want to invest in. Another smarter feature that we are introducing is grouping similar insights. So again, insights are our tool to highlight security incidents that are worth attention. But again, this can become quite a lot after some time. And in case you would like to handle them, there are lots of things to do to actually handle all the new incoming insights. And to make it a little bit easier, we are now introducing grouping similar insights. And sorry about that. Let's see how this looks like. Let's imagine I'm investigating an insight. And now I have, for compatible insights that have actually similar insights to them, a button that says similar insights. And after clicking that, our module is actually evaluating all kinds of insights that exist and looks for similar groups. And then after you see a bunch of similar insights, you can decide what to do with them. So let's play this again. I can see a data policy violation from Eva. I choose the similar insights button. After that, I get a new tab with similar insights, not only from Eva, but also Rebecca. And I can see that the two users are performing very similar actions within 10 minutes. Maybe they were doing something at the same time. But after I've investigated both, I decided, okay, this has been resolved, and I can quickly choose the entire group and close those insights at the same time. Again, with these demo data, I hope you understood the point of it, but the real power of this feature comes in large environments when you get dozens of insights every day and you are looking for optimizations on how to automate your incident resolvement process. And this is a great tool because it automates finding similar things, taking a look at similar things at the same time and resolving at the same. Moving forward, another great addition to our product is a new data classification template library that we have now introduced throughout the product. And this allows you to get better and more accurate identifiers for any kind of personal or financial or healthcare or other identifier throughout the entire globe. So now we have a searchable library that you can browse through. You can either filter it by country, domain, or regulation. We even prepared some templates for common regulations that we see our customers using a lot. And all these things are there for you to quickly choose from and apply whatever is needed. Technically, it goes even further, and now we are able to update algorithms. So if there is an algorithm or identifier that we know can be improved, and the Safetica headquarters creates an effort to improve that algorithm, we can update it to our existing customers, and all our customers can take advantage of the latest identifiers that we are introducing and use them in their configuration. Also, this enables us to expand our library of identifiers far more efficiently than previously possible. So in case there is a regional algorithm or a compliance regulation that you would like us to explore and possibly add to the product, please let us know, because now our job is much easier and we can address these kinds of requests much faster. And I hope we've already addressed a couple of specific regions that were testing this feature with us and providing us with additional requests to add to our library. So again, much more easier way to configure data classification with the new product. Another common thing that our administrators are asking us to automate is work for data destinations. In case you are using the product already, you can imagine that data destinations becomes overwhelming after some time, because there's much more new data destinations detected than a regular admin is able to review and categorize every day. But now we try to highlight the latest and most frequently used data destinations, so that really you can see the most important things on the top of your list, and you can quickly decide whether you want to move them to safe, move them to untrusted, categorize them as a group of data destinations, or you can, of course, also remove the suggestions and just take care of your job the way you would naturally do anytime. And there are a couple of more things. I will just mention two of them. We are also reworking our AI summaries for insights, because based on your input and feedback, we knew some of the context could be improved, and we are slowly revamping the specific insight types to include better summaries with better context and more clarity. So if you already noticed a couple of changes, it's not a coincidence. We are working on these. And also to automate the security workflow of our customers. Now the SEAM integration that we previously mentioned is generally available to all our customers. So even our cloud and on-premises customers can now connect SEAM solutions to the tool and can take advantage of the new generation of SEAM integration based on webhooks. Again, this is something that is still fresh in the product. If you have feedback or something is not working the way you would imagine, there is a feedback form that you can access when integrating the SEAM solution, and we are happy to receive your feedback and potentially talk to you about what's missing and we can improve. And possibly this final big topic that we've addressed in the latest version is improved email security. So for our Microsoft 365 users, we invested heavily into the user experience we can provide with Outlook use cases. And we know lots of our customers are also customers of Microsoft, and they are using Microsoft 365 services. So now there are three big things that we managed to do. One is that we are now scanning emails in Exchange Online, and even without endpoint clients. So now regardless whether an email has seen a Safetica endpoint client or not, it goes through the integrated Exchange Online service, and now we are able to scan the message to find whether there was any sensitive information included. Again, this is something that was released on the back end. Maybe you didn't notice any change, but you can rest assured that your email communication, if it weren't scanned by the endpoint client, it was scanned by our Exchange Online service. We also heard a couple of negative comments about our Outlook add-in, and if you yourself have experienced performance issues or usability issues with Outlook when Safetica add-in is activated, now we refactored the add-on. It includes improved performance, and we hope it also resolves all the usability issues that we knew about, and this has also been enrolled to all our customers. So if you check the Outlook add-in configuration, you might notice the version 2.0, which is actually the refactored one, and we hope that this will address all the pain points we heard about before. And finally, for Mac users, we also connected or created the bridge between our endpoint client and the Outlook add-in. So now if you are using Outlook on a macOS device, the endpoint client and the Outlook add-in are communicating to each other for a faster and more accurate analysis of outgoing communication. So hopefully this just works better and works more reliably than before. And regarding email security, there is one more technical highlight I would like to go through today. In case it gets too technical, don't worry about it. It's just a security feature that works better than it worked before. But now we have cross-endpoint data classification sharing between devices when it comes to email. So if you imagine a very, very simple use case that you can see on the screen, let's imagine Alice. Alice downloads a document from a file server. And this document is considered sensitive not because it includes a credit card number, but because it came from a file server. So this is an example of classification applied thanks to the context of the file. So the file came from a file server, therefore it is sensitive. And when Alice tries to take this file and copy it to a USB drive, this is blocked because these sensitive files shouldn't go to USB. But Alice can also send this file to a colleague. She can either use the Outlook application or she can go to outlook.com and work in the browser where she uploads the file and sends it to a colleague. And again, previously, when Bob, Alice's colleague, received this email, we could scan the file for content, we could scan the file for sensitive information, but maybe the context of the file was lost because when Alice downloaded the file from the file server, we knew about that. But when she sent the file through email, Bob's machine didn't realize that this file originally didn't come from Alice, but it came from file server. But now, thanks to our new cross-endpoint data classification sharing, the data classification is retained. And even on Bob's machine, when the file is downloaded either from the Outlook app or from outlook.com throughout any browser, Safetica actually recognizes the file because our M365 integration retained and shared this information, and the data classification is inherited between the two machines. And then when Bob tries to take the file away and copy it to a USB drive, the same policy is applied here. Again, this is just about increasing security that we can enforce. In case you are using a most contextual approach and you are scanning file content rather than using context data classification, this is something you don't need to worry about. But we also have customers who rely heavily on our contextual data classification. And for those customers, this is a great improvement and will definitely tighten their security and ensure that there are fewer means of taking files away from the company, while also enabling colleagues to work together and share files in a secure environment. And finally, I'll just mention one final improvement, and that's for our cloud customers, because this week, and this is also a heads up, we are enforcing mandatory multi-factor authentication to increase security for our cloud customers. So from September 26th, you can expect that a multi-factor window will show up when logging into our product. And for our customers in Latin America, we also introduced a data center in Brazil that allows faster service and also for Brazilian customers ensures regional compliance. So in case you are a customer existing, let us know. We can migrate your data to the new data center. In case you are a new customer browsing around and you would like to host your data in Brazil, now it's also possible along with our European and US data centers. And this is it for the product changes. But one final note from my end is about the update experience, because we recognize that our customers are sometimes struggling with the possibilities, and sometimes we allow new feature set, but customers feel that they would like to keep a more stable, conservative approach for their setup. So now we tried to simplify how your upgrade options look like. And to simplify the entire experience, if you're a Safetica cloud customer, it's super easy. Every week you receive the latest features and improvements that we have, and we do them very securely, very stably. And this is something you don't need to worry about. But for our Safetica on-premises customers, now they get a choice, and that choice is very simple. They can choose our cumulative releases, which we are switching to a quarterly cadence. And this will be the main upgrading point for most of our customers. Our customers don't always want latest features and all the new changes. They just want something that always works and is very stable. So these are our stable releases with all the features, fixes, and improvements that are available, verified, and really bulletproof. For customers who would like to try the latest features, or they would like to just try a single thing that they are waiting for and are okay to actually jump from a cumulative release, we're also introducing feature releases. These are very fast. We run 2-week sprints, and after every one of these, we have a feature release available to try. And this is especially for customers who would like to either try the new functionality before all the others, or they are waiting for a specific feature to arrive in the product. Now you have a choice to actually enroll into a specific feature release and get to try the new things in a very simple way. Because in our release notes, you will now find update URLs that with the latest versions of the product, you can just simply enter, and you can freely update to the latest available feature release that you chose to update to. So these are the two options every of our customers now gets. And again, if you are looking for the latest changes, Safetica Cloud is your best bet. For on-prem customers, they can opt for a feature release that they can control and they can choose to install. And for all the other on-prem customers, we have our cumulative releases that are tried, super verified, super stable, and are only slowed down a little bit so that we can really ensure stability and all that bulletproofness that I mentioned before. Hope this is good news. And if you visit our release notes, there are additional resources that you can read through and learn about the new update experience. And with this is all for the product updates that we have right now. And I'm happy to hand over to our new colleague, Peter, who will talk more about the future and things to come. Peter, the word is yours.
Thank you, Janko. Very interesting news in the product. So you have seen what's new in Safetica. Now let's look ahead, what's coming in the next weeks and where we are headed long term. If you go to the next slide, our direction is clear. We are evolving from a trusted on-prem DLP into the future-ready data security platform. That means 3 things: strengthening enterprise foundation, accelerating cloud-first, AI-driven data loss prevention, and building advanced governance across Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace. This ensures that Safetica remains relevant and powerful in modern enterprise environments. On the enterprise side, we are removing migration constraints to make the transition from Safetica 10 to Safetica 11 as smooth as possible. We are adding, as Janko mentioned, we are adding new data centers and working on achieving SOC 2 certification, which is critical for highly regulated industries. Deployments and updates will become easier via integration with your existing security stack, and support for process automation help reduce operational overhead. Can go to the next slide, Janko. Thank you. Security teams are dealing with the growing number of alerts and rising workloads. Our upcoming enhancements introduce automated workflows and triage and incident resolution, AI-powered data classification, and data lineage for better visibility into how data moves across your organization. This brings faster incident response, smarter detection, and less manual effort for your teams. Most organizations today are hybrid, with critical workloads in Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace or both. We are introducing greater visibility into these environments, deeper data control and classification, and automated cloud data discovery. This provides stronger protection for sensitive data and establishes the foundation for scalable multi-cloud data governance. Next slide, Janko, please. Okay, to wrap up, Safetica helps you achieve smooth migration with less project risk, operate smarter with faster detection and response, and protect your cloud environments with future-ready governance. We are moving from a strong DLP foundation into the next generation data security platform that grows with your needs. Next slide, please. So looking future out, our vision is clear. Safetica is becoming a next generation data security platform, combining intelligent DLP with data security posture management. This means not only protecting against data loss, but also continuously monitoring your data environment for weaknesses. We are also strengthening our position in enterprise markets globally, with a particular focus on the EU and US. This roadmap ensures that Safetica continues to evolve in line with your business needs. And that's it from my side, and I'm passing the words back to Vic.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Thanks a lot, Peter, and thank you, Janko, as well. Great stuff to share with our customers here. So before we get to questions, I wanted to point you to some additional content that you might be interested in. So first off, recently we published a doc that outlines the enhancements that we've made to our most recent version of Safetica, Safetica 11. It highlights the major enhancements added from January up through August. In fact, actually up through about mid-August, with screenshots and content describing the features and functionalities. And this link on this specific slide, it'll provide you a direct download of that doc. And then the other two items here are links to recent blogs that we published that you might have additional interest in. So check out our blog when you get a chance and check them out. And you can directly link to each one through the PDF of the slides that we'll provide you after the event in our post-event email, which will go out sometime within the next 2 or 3 days. Next slide, please. All right, that's actually that's all we currently have. Let's get to some questions here, and you know, please feel free to go ahead and fill in some questions as well if you haven't done so far. I know we have a few in here already, and I'll read a couple off for the guys now, and then we'll get to yours as well. So the first question that I see here is, when do you expect to have initial access to Google Workspace, and are you looking for early release testers? Janko, Peter, you want to take that?
Yeah, sorry, I had to unmute myself.
That's okay.
We are already working on a technical prototype on our end, and we are testing it internally. And definitely, if you are interested in helping us pilot this, please let us know. Let us know already, because we are looking for testers, and we hope that this is something that we are able to introduce in the product by the end of this year. So really, testing is something imminent, and everybody interested can already let us know, because we are happy to get in touch with you already to learn about your use cases too, and have an understanding whether our integration will actually work in your organization the way we imagine.
Great, thank you. All right, here's one. Do you also offer support for Outlook without Microsoft 365?
That's a tricky topic. The new Outlook improvements that I mentioned today were specifically relevant to customers running Outlook with Microsoft 365 accounts. However, the good news is that we definitely know about all those accounts that are not Microsoft 365 and people use in their Outlook app, and we are working on improved integration and coverage for these two. That is not yet available. I actually saw it in work 2 weeks ago, but it's still something that is in development. But I believe by the end of this year, it will become part of the product, and Outlook will get even better protection. It will actually work alongside everything that we have today. So if our customers are using M365, but they are also worried about non-M365 accounts being used in Outlook, the preferred way is still to use the existing capabilities. and cover all the remaining use cases with the additional feature that is being developed. So if you are already using these tools, please use the available options. But in case there are still use cases you are looking to cover, those will become available in the next couple of months.
It's great, thank you. All right, how about, do you plan to introduce any additional data centers within the next year? That's a good question.
We introduced the recent Brazilian data center because we saw demand in the region, and there were actual customers waiting for this data center due to regulatory compliance requirements. So again, if this is something that comes from customers and we see enough demand, we are very open to the idea of opening data centers in other regions and countries. At the moment, these three were the scope we were looking to address. But again, if there is more demand coming in, we are very capable of addressing the demand. And it's a question of us learning about the demand and addressing it. So if you have specific concerns or specific questions regarding the hosting in our data centers, let us know, and it's something that will be a subject to discussion.
Great, thanks, Janko. Looks like Jaime had some problems seeing the slides. Don't worry, Jaime, we'll send a link to the PDF and the recording of this as well, just in case it was on your end. Let me see if there's any other questions here. Give it a second. All right, this looks like that's all we have for now. So give you a little bit of time back. If you didn't ask a question today, you can always ask through our feedback forms that are located in the product. So feel free to use them at any time, or don't hesitate to reach out directly to the product team as well at product@safetica.com, and the team will respond to you. So hey, thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate it. And within the next 48 hours or so, keep an eye out for our follow-up email, as I mentioned, which will include links to the recording and our slides. And have a great day and a great evening. Thank you.